Hi everybody, it's Cavanagh here. This is a set report for The Flash. Episode 820, also known as the Season 8 finale. This is Night 2 filming. I had some Night 1 filming video that, if you haven't seen, it should be in the my videos. So check there. Here is Tom Cavanagh standing in front of Grant Gustin, and they're doing a scene where obviously Grant is on the ground at the moment, and Tom's character is looking very proud of himself, and you see just Tom like walks out there, and now they're gonna bring in a stunt double. You can see the guy carrying the wires there to hook onto the double, and here he is going up in the air. He's going quite high up. There'll be a clip in a second that'll show you exactly how high they got him off the ground. This is pretty high. I think it's like 3 stories probably. And then they lowered him back down. There was a couple of problems during the night. I can't remember if this was during one of those problems, but they had, there actually was a lightning strike that night, and obviously they're not going to have someone hanging up in the air while there's lightning going on. So I can't remember if that was maybe the take where it happened, where they had to bring him right back down. But that happened a couple of times during the night where they got him up there and then they're just like, all right, take him back down. But finally they had him up there one time. You see him, he's doing this like stretched out arm thing. I don't know how else to describe it. He's yelling a fair bit during it. There was a lot of ah sounds coming from him. I don't know how else to describe it except that. There wasn't much else to it except he does this arm thing. You see him, he kind of puts his arms close together in front of him for a moment, but from my angle I couldn't tell what he was doing. But most of the time he's standing there with his arms spread open like you see them right now, and a lot of ahing and ah sounds coming from, so I don't know what else to describe it as except that. I will have a lot more coming. I have more from Night 2, but I had to break it up into different parts because there was too much. So this is part 1. Part 2 will come out hopefully in the next couple of days after this, if not in the next week. But that's it for now. Bye. And this is some still photos from the evening. First off, here you see a couple of signs that they put up on our stadium, in the CC Sharks Stadium, which was actually covering a huge plaque that's there for one of the most notable players in the team's history from that stadium. So that was kind of funny. If you're a regular person walking by and you saw that, you'd probably be very confused. But yeah, they put those props up. They also had this prop billboard up well away from the scene, which made me wonder if there was a scene they were supposed to do at some point that they never got around to, because it was way back in the distance, like a block from where they were filming, but they never really faced that direction, so I don't know if they ever got around to using it. And you know, here's Tom Cavanagh on set. You'll see in a couple of the other videos coming up, he looks very stiff in this suit, and you can kind of see it when you see him just standing there like this. It's kind of rigid. I don't think it was properly broken in for any of this filming, and I think it shows at times when he is standing around. Here they are doing a scene. You can see Tom facing Grant. Grant barely there. You can see him in front of the camera area. They did a few scenes together. There were other actors on set, which you'll see in later videos. There were other actors on set that night, but I decided to break this package down into just the Tom and Grant stuff because there was enough just for that, and there was too much for a full video of everything, so I kind of split it up that way. But they did a couple of scenes throughout the night. Here's one where you see Tom, and he's doing like a landing punch to the ground thing. I only saw him do this take, I think, 2 or 3 times, so I don't know if it is part of the full scene, or if it was something they asked him to do, and then they were kind of like, I don't know if that works, because he only did it a couple of times. There he is, still just standing around. There was a lot of delays in this night because there was a lightning strike, so they had to redo the night a little bit. They still, I think, did all the scenes they intended to do, I think. But it was definitely delayed for a while. They had to shut down everything for about 45 minutes or so because of the lightning. And I think because of that, some scenes maybe got shot out of order that they were originally intending. Because Grant wasn't on set when the lightning stuff happened, and then when they came back from break, all of a sudden they're like, you know what, we're going to do that. So here they are again doing the scene, you know. Grant, I think, is throwing a lightning bolt maybe here, or maybe this is in between takes. I honestly can't tell anymore. Still photos, it's obviously always a little bit of a challenge to remember what exactly might have been going on at that time. You know, I have a good idea most times, but sometimes I just, you know, can't remember exactly what was going on at that moment. So you see here, you see Grant is standing facing one direction and Tom is facing another. So in this scene, Grant is frozen at that time, and Tom is throwing lightning at a police car that would later blow up. I actually missed the explosion scene. I'm not even side rant that I don't want to get into, but I got like the last 2 seconds of the explosion, and I'm not happy about that. So here's their stunt doubles on set. I think, I can't remember what the reason was at this time, but they'll do this all the time in scenes. You might not notice it as a viewer, but they do it all the time. They'll have the doubles just come in and do something if the actors if they don't need a close-up of their face, and if they don't need them to do any speaking in the scene, they'll just get their doubles to come in and do the scene, because why have the actor there, you know, doing something they don't need to be, their face doesn't need to be seen on screen, their voice isn't needed on screen, so they'll just have them come in and do it. And that was what was going on here. And you know, that happens a lot. People just don't realize it because you don't really notice it in the finished product. But yeah, that's it for this. I have a lot more coming up. I have 2 more videos of finale shooting, including from this very night that you're looking at now with other cast there. So that'll be coming up in hopefully next week or so. I have a lot of free time right now, so I should have no excuse for not getting these finished. And then I have more from a third night that was at a different location, and then I'll be wrapped for this season of videos. Thanks for dropping by. If you want to see more Flash content, I have a lot on my channel. You can just follow me and see it in the future. And there's an entire playlist of old Flash videos going right back to the pilot, so you can check those out. Thank you and goodbye.